If you've ever played Skyrim, which I'm assuming you probably have if you're watching this video, then you're probably painfully aware of Skyrim's opening sequence, particularly how long and unskippable it is. And as someone that likes to view fictional media through a more critical and analytical lens, after playing the opening of Skyrim quite a few times, I've come to understand things about the opening scene and Unbound that I didn't before, as well as some things that could be improved upon. Starting a new game, the player is immediately greeted with a loading screen of Alduin with the lore text.
And the scrolls have foretold, black wings in the cold, that when brothers wage war come unfurled, Alduin, bane of kings, ancient shadow unbound, hunger to swallow the world.
Song of the Dragonborn. This makes sense to be the first thing the player sees. It foreshadows the opening of the game and also preludes the rest of the game. This is followed by a fade from black into the forests of Falkreath Hold, the game title fading in and then disappearing. It's a great start to the game proper, setting up the open world by showing off the wilderness and mountains, capturing the majesty and awe of Skyrim's outdoors. Now, of course, there are other areas the wagon ride could have been: the Rift's autumnal forests, Whiterun Plains, Hjalmarch Marshes, Reach Cliffs, the varied forests of Hofengar, or the snowy plains of the Pale or Winterhold. But none of these fits the vibe of Skyrim's opening as well as Falkreath's forests do. Somber, as it should be for someone being taken to their execution. The dreary atmosphere also serves as an omen of what's to come. Falkreath's forests strike a good balance between showing off the snow-capped mountains while also showing off Skyrim's capacity for lush, evergreen plant life.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Aside from existing as a meme, Ralof exists to give exposition as to how you ended up in a prisoner convoy, as well as some background on the civil war in Skyrim. This is carried pretty well, with any lore exposition being in the form of Ralof speaking to you or Lokir, which makes sense given he wants to let you know why you're there, and he's also responding to Lokir's comments. Once the wagons approach and enter Helgen, Ralof sees and speaks about Tullius and the Thalmor disparaging, something that is pretty believable for a Stormcloak to do, while also still serving the function of exposition. Even when Ralof starts talking about his memories of Helgen, though it's not informing you of Skyrim's political situation, it is believable that knowing he's about to die, his memories come flooding in. That said, I would change 3 things about this. 1, Elenwen not being name-dropped. 2, where Ralof is from, and 3, the inability to skip this long scene. The first is because Elenwen is the most significant Thalmor member in Skyrim, and she does show up in the intro, but Ralof doesn't mention her by name, only mentioning the Thalmor are with General Tullius. It would be nice if Ralof mentioned Elenwen by name, since she's as significant as Tullius and Ulfric, or if Elenwen herself said something. As for Ralof, he says,
A Nord's last thoughts should be of home.
I don't believe that it's ever stated where Ralof is from. He talks about his memories.
Ralof of Riverwood.
Ralof of Riverwood.
As for why I make the intro skippable, it's because when you've seen it several times across several characters, it can get annoying. A skip option would be a nice quality of life improvement, something like falling back asleep and being woken up again right before the execution starts. Helgen Keep serves as a solid tutorial dungeon, introducing the player to fundamental parts of the game such as the controls, picking up items and searching containers, armor rating, and how the 3 attributes, health, magicka, and stamina, are depleted and restored. It also introduces you to different skills that can be leveled up: one-handed, block, destruction, alchemy, and lockpicking. The ending of Unbound is great. You come out of Helgen Keep, seeing the mountains and abundance of flora. The world looks exciting and ready to be explored. Alduin flying off is a nice touch also, signaling that the first quest of the game is over, but the Black Dragon from Helgen is still out there. But with all this said, I do have an idea as to how Skyrim could have alternatively started. Morrowind and Oblivion both open with a cinematic cutscene, serving as a prologue to the game that's narrated by a key figure from that game's main quest, Azura or Uriel Septim VII. And both showed in-game environments that the player would eventually be able to explore themselves. Morrowind's wilderness, Oblivion, and Cyrodiil. Even Elder Scrolls Online, which was released after Skyrim, has a cinematic intro. Is Skyrim having a cinematic intro necessary? Not at all. The existing start of Skyrim does what it does well enough, but would a cinematic intro be cool? Yes. Yes, it would. If Skyrim did have an opening cinematic, it could just be a modified version of the official trailer for the game, seeing as though the trailer fits the look and feel of Skyrim and already feels cinematic. If anything needs to change, it would probably just be not showing the Dragonborn's face, so the identity of the Dragonborn is up to the player. That said, though it's not necessary, I think it would be cool if, instead of Esbern narrating,
The Elder Scrolls told of the return.
it was Arngir
It is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
or even Paarthurnax.
What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
But I also think it would be cool if it was soon.
I am soon. Shield thing to shore.
But Esbern is okay too.
Haven't you been listening to me?
However, I also realized that having a cinematic opening cutscene on top of the existing start of the game is a lot of time spent on exposition and also just a lot of time in general. So the existence of a cinematic intro necessitates that either A, the Helgen wagon ride be scrapped, or B, the Helgen sequence be altered in length or presentation. I'm leaning towards B. If it's altered in length, then it can just start in Helgen itself instead of a wagon ride through the forest. If it's altered in presentation, it would make sense for the player to be held prisoner in Helgen Keep, since there is a dungeon with cages and jail cells. The player and Stormcloak prisoners can be marched out to be publicly executed, and Alduin can interrupt and raise the town, just like how things play out in the actual game. This could in turn lead the player to running back towards Helgen Keep, but I think it'd be more interesting if that's what the game guided you toward, only for Alduin to cause the ground to crumble, leading to you and either Hadvor or Ralof falling into Helgen Keep and unable to climb back out as the hole in the ground was sealed by rubble. If anything else changed, maybe the order of the rooms in Helgen Keep, putting the cages and cells closer toward the start of this rearranged Helgen Keep, so the player can get past it quickly and still feel like they're exploring something new, not just the same jail area from the very start. This way the Helgen sequence can still happen, and an opening cinematic can still play before any gameplay. There you have it. Some things from the opening sequence on Unbound that work well, and some things that could be improved upon. If you have your own opinions on things that could be improved upon or things that work well, let me know. And if you have any disagreements, also let me know in a comment in the comment section down below. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe and leave a like. Anyways,
Good day.